So today we'll be looking at NetSkeme, and we will be showing how to bring your HyDraw symbols from your HyDraw library into NetSkeme. So today I'm going to start with building a symbol here in HyDraw. So I'm using HyDraw 2021, and everything that you can do within HyDraw's symbol build, you can do within NetSkeme. So everything that you're going to see here is going to be the same as what you're going to see basically in NetSkeme. So a little bit about HyDraw and NetSkeme. So HyDraw is a desktop application, whereas NetSkeme is done on the browser. So trying to find a symbol. So currently I'm in symbol build mode, and you can tell with this blue bar across the top that says edit symbol. Snapping on. Within symbol build mode, you can use your ISO building blocks. And so these are going to help you build your symbols. So right now I am building our pump that we will be using within the circuit. So today we'll be building a water pump flow control circuit. Make our connections. So one thing about symbol build mode, you don't get your automatic jumpers and your connection dots. So you'll have to bring them in manually. I don't know where that one just went. Okay. Looks like my undo did the wrong undo. So like I said, you'll have to bring it in and manually place it. So now need a direction component. And I want to snap to my grid here. And we're going to rotate and place this here. And I'm going to need it on the same symbol over here. Turn my snap to objects off. And we're going to increase this. So when you bring in your symbols from HyDraw into NetSkeme, there is a special application that we will be using. We do have it here at Vest, and we can easily transfer your symbols over. And it's going to take the symbols and it's going to make them a PNG file. I believe that they are GIF files within the HyDraw library. So now we need connection dots. And I'm noticing I'm missing a jumper here. We'll bring this one in. And I'm going to snap to turn the grid off. Snap to that point. So everything that you're seeing here, again, can be done in NetSkeme. The only differences that you're going to see within NetSkeme, you can't use this type indicator. And there's also, these exist within NetSkeme, however, they are within your ISO building blocks. So you will have to do a little bit of searching for it. And let's bring this closer here. And we have, gonna need a jumper up here. And we're gonna bring this line, gonna extend it here. And we're gonna make sure that it's on the grid here by using that snap to grid, turning it on. Let me make sure I have everything here within my symbol. So it looks like my symbol is pretty much complete. I'm gonna put a port right here. Oh, I have to identify the name. Pilot. I'm gonna place it right there. Bring that name up. And finally, we're gonna put a box around our symbol here. And our symbol is complete. So now we're gonna save our changes. And the symbol will show up kind of where you selected where you'd like to edit it. So in order to add to your library on demand within HyDraw, you are going to want to select this Open Library Editor. And I have a NetSkeme folder here. And I already have the symbol, but I'm going to get rid of it for purpose of this demo. So if you want to add the symbol, just navigate to the library folder that you would like your symbol to be in. So I currently have this NetSkeme folder here. And we're going to add this symbol, enter. And it's going to add the symbol right directly within our folder. So now we're going to head over to NetSkeme, and we're going to take all of these symbols that I have here, and we're going to convert them from our HyDraw library, and we're going to make them into files that can be brought into NetSkeme using the converter tool. So this is our conversion tool, and it's a simple install on the desktop. And with this, you can identify the library that you want to pull from. And you'll notice that only this folder appears right now. That's because I have this show symbols added / modified by me checked. If I were to uncheck this, every symbol within the library would appear. But for the sake of this, I just want these ones. So I can go individually and I can bring, each symbol individually over, or I can select them all, add them. And this is going to be the file path. So let's actually bring it into November. And this is the file path that I'm going to find those symbols at. So I'm going to convert the symbols. And it's going to tell me they successfully converted. So now I'm done with this. It's time to go into NetSkeme. And we're going to start a new drawing. First, actually, let's netskeme.com. This is what the website looks like. You'll just click login up here and sign in. And I'm going to start a new drawing with sheet size A. So the schematic we have today is a little smaller, but I really wanted to show today kind of those overlaps between HyDraw and NetSkeme and the interaction between the two systems and how easy it can be to go from the desktop to the cloud and back. So We'll start with the pump that I just built. So if we go up here to our My symbol, and we want to actually go back to November and NetSkeme folder, and here is the symbol that I just built. And you'll notice everything is brought in and there's no errors. So I do have some more symbols in here. I have a reservoir, and we can start building from here. So I'm gonna grab and I'm gonna place our items. And let's see, we're gonna need a filter. And a check valve. And I'm gonna turn auto connect off just because since my reservoir here does not have any connection ports, it's going to be a little more difficult to kind of route the line that I want. So I'll do it manually. And that's good. And we will, oops, it's the wrong way. Connect here. So next I'm going to bring in another one of the symbols that I had built prior to the webinar. And I'm going to make our connection. So I don't like how it's kind of covering our connection port name here. So I'm going to bring this up. And now it looks much better. And we're gonna, so I'm gonna turn auto connect back on because you have a much better range here that we can work with. And I have a fancy water pump symbol. And we have a relief valve symbol. And that is going to drain into our reservoir. So then we finally have our last symbol, and that's going to be pulled directly from our NetSkeme library. So this is provided from NetSkeme. And we're going to do this. And we'll flip it or rotate it. And we are going to make our connections. And of course, the pilot connection. So a little bit about this circuit. This is the entire thing. It is pretty small for this webinar, but with this circuit, it's used in more mobile applications and can be used for crop watering. And basically with this relief valve and our pilot line here, you can determine kind of how much water is going to be output up here. And it's set based on the components that you select. So now I would like to get into kind of NetSkeme symbol build mode and kind of show you guys that. So within NetSkeme symbol build, you'll notice that we have essentially the same layout. We just have one tab with the symbols that you can build off of and the ISO building blocks. So you saw me pull from the ISO building blocks. Those were located on the right tab within HyDraw. But within here you can build and you can save to that location actually that I showed within my file explorer, and then you can easily come back to your drawing canvas with your schematic and you can pull directly using my symbol. So if you wanted to say, let's add model data. NetSkeme is limited compared to HyDraw. There is this model code, manufacturer, and description fields here. And HyDraw is much more customizable, and you can identify which fields apply to which component types and get much more in depth. So NetSkeme is more for our kind of sales application engineers, and HyDraw is more for the designing and much more in depth with the properties and everything. So let's say that we want to assign a manufacturer. We'll say HyDraw. And if we want to, we can auto-populate a bill of materials using a parts list here. And it does kind of close or cover up our schematic here. So if I want, I can always just change our size of our title block. And it's not going to fill the whole thing. But if necessary, it's there. You can make those edits. So the next thing that I want to show is bringing this schematic into HyDraw. So here you can save as DWG. And usually it is going to auto-populate your title here, whatever's entered in your title block. But we're just going to hit open. And you're going to get this pop-up, and basically this is Autodesk's way of saying this DWG was not created with, an Autodesk application. Are you sure you want to open it? And I know it's safe, so we're going to continue, and we're going to have no problem. So as you can see, you can bring this symbol in, and as you can see, with the symbols that are from the NetSkeme library, they pull up the property manager. And with these symbols, the property manager is now automatically pulled up. So the reason for this being, when we do this conversion, it does not keep that assignment of a component type. So you will have to use our convert to HyDraw, and you can choose the component type and select the item ID that appears with it and all of that. So going back to NetSkeme, let's see, what else can we cover? We can do a comparison real quick here. So symbol build mode. So as you can see, within symbol build mode in HyDraw, you have quick access to both the symbols currently here and our ISO building blocks. The only things that are missing within NetSkeme symbol build mode up here within the actual ribbon are these display formats and solenoid info. Those, we haven't brought our solenoid information and our actuation charts into NetSkeme. We've saved that for HyDraw for now. If you do want the conversion tool, let us know. It is pretty handy. You could also send us the symbols and we can convert it. Just send us an email to support@netskeme.com. It's a fairly simple process and we can easily do.